They start making sugar syrup on the second day, and I clean all the bottles for this sugar syrup. They take sugar cane and they press it in this little thing, and it makes sugar syrup. And so I washed all the bottles. I helped load the sugar cane. When it was spent, I spent hours over there helping load the trailer. And so in the middle of the afternoon, I was like, well, like this has been the second day, and I haven't had any hot food. I haven't had a shower, and I have not used the bathroom over there, which is very important. I never use the toilet over there. So I was like, I need to take a break for myself, and I need to go use the bathroom. So I get a hold of the guy and I'm like, hey, dude, it's nice that y'all making this sugar syrup. I actually had been up since like maybe 7 o'clock, and it was already like noon or 1 o'clock. I feel like I had put a lot of work in. And I was like, hey, I am gonna go take a shower because I need a shower and I need to go to the bathroom. I said there's two places you won't find me here because I don't feel safe. And that's the bathroom and that's the kitchen. So I need to go use that stuff and come back. Well, I left and he called me twice, and he was like, I don't know what Debbie said to you. She's evil. She's born that way. She can't help it. I have the voicemail. And I was like, so it took me a while to take a shower because if you know Florida traffic, there's no getting anywhere quick. It takes forever to get anywhere. So even though the Flying J was like 11 miles away, it took me like 30 minutes to get there. And then it took me like another 45 minutes to take a shower, I suppose, and get my stuff ready. And he had called me twice in that time, which I had missed. And he had assumed that I had probably kind of split because Debbie was rude to me. But I called him and I told him, she didn't say anything to me. If she had said something to me, you guys would know it right away. And no, I just need to eat and take a shower. And you guys had not invited me to any food, and I have been eating cold food. And I just wanted some warm food and a shower. So, I'll be back to help after that. And that'll be it. Okay, so I come back to the little compound after getting myself all cleaned up and everything. And I come back and I notice that two of the women there are arguing each other. They're yelling at each other at the trampoline. And then furthermore, when I'm sitting by my car, the owner, John, is in the little underneath the barn dominium area. And he's yelling about how evil his wife is, and they're just different people and all this other kind of stuff. I kind of brush it off. I thought to myself, maybe I should wake up early and kind of split out of here. But I wanted to kind of give the people there the benefit of the doubt. There was something going on. There was a lot of yelling and a lot of fighting. But like I said, I came there for peace. I came there to help. I didn't come there to argue with people, and I really don't have beef with anybody there. And so, I was like, okay, what's going on? And then so the other two guys, there were two guys that were over there. One was named with Marcus and one with Daniel. Seemed like cool guys, but they seemed like they were walking on eggshells. And it seemed like it's behind John and Debbie that everybody, John, Debbie, and Leah. That's like so John, Debbie, Leah, Marcus, Daniel. And it seems like Debbie and Leah, Daniel said, I'm not Daniel. John, the owner, said everybody there is crazy and has a mental problem. But it seems to me that um, everybody there is kind of sane except for the women, which is sad, and John. The women and John are the problem. The people who are coming through, they're just doing whatever John tells them to do. He's the one that owns the place. So they don't know what they're doing behind things. They're just kind of following him. And both of them are kind of grifters. And so they're just kind of following him because they want to experience. But they don't know that the way that he's living isn't the right way. So anyway, that whole argument happens in the evening. And then I go to sleep. I wake up the next morning and I come downstairs to help and I fall down the stairs. Like, you guys see my ankle completely fall down the motherfucking stairs. And it was just a fluke. Nothing happened that made me fall down the stairs. It's just I fell down the goddamn stairs. And a few people, Kirk made the comment like, "You're walking weird. What's wrong with you?" And I told him, I said, "I fell down the stairs. I don't know." I said, "That happens to me sometimes. I'm kind of clumsy." Listen, so the next morning he's like, "Okay," he's like, "I want you to take it easy." And then I come out there, I'm helping. The first thing I do the last morning that I'm there is I go over, I try to find John, can't figure out where he is. So I go over to the bull cows and I try to help, with the cows, their poop or milking them. I'm over there and somebody's milking them and they're like, if we don't shoot her with this synthetic oxytocin, she's not going to give milk. I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, we need to, for some reason, give cows synthetic hormones or else they won't give us milk. But anyway, we're over there chatting. Kirk comes back over there. He takes me over by the garden and we pick some lettuce. We're done picking lettuce. We drive back over by the place where we're washing the lettuce and we're washing the lettuce and John starts talking to me. And this is when he starts getting kind of off his rocker. He's like, "If you're not going to eat breakfast here, you can't stay here." I said, "Well, nobody's ever invited me to breakfast the first 2 mornings I'm here. Nobody's told me how the kitchen works. I don't understand that. And furthermore, you told me that the women here are crazy. So I don't want to go into the kitchen or dining room with people who you've told me are crazy. It feels like a situation that's set up for problems." So I continue to work. I continue to help wash the lettuce. And he's like, "You don't have to stay here." And I'm like, this person said this a second time. So, firstly, I'm not a therapist. I don't know what's going on in his mind. But if he would like me to leave his home, I have no problem leaving. He has nothing over me and he has given me nothing. I have actually worked a lot more for him than I have been paid or given for. I haven't gone to the bathroom here. I haven't eaten any food here. I've slept in a place with no heat the last 2 nights. And now you're trying to force me behind my boundaries, which I told him I did not want to go in there. I was not invited, and I'm sorry. I'm like Jesus Christ. If you want me to go somewhere, you have to invite me there. I'm not going to just show up in a place uninvited. I don't do that. I need to be expressly invited. If not, I will take care of my needs myself. And so at that point, I did just pack up my litty shit and I kicked rocks. And for me, I am good with intentional communities from here on. The people there, for me, just because somebody's sustainable doesn't mean that they're sane. Sustainable doesn't equal sane. Caring about the environment doesn't equal sane.